Well, since this is such a short webinar, it's only 45 minutes, I say we get started. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm your instructor for the day. My name is Greg Lutz. In today's class, I want to talk about PowerPoint 2013 and some of the different things that make your life a little bit simpler when you work with PowerPoint. So to give you an idea, today what we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about how to start PowerPoint quickly, how to organize slides at a glance, how the outline tab helps, and getting that right slide look that you might be looking for. First, let's talk about PowerPoint itself. I'm just going to share out PowerPoint so that you can see this. So I'm just going to open it up here, and you should see it on your screen any second. There we go. All right. I'll open up a PowerPoint slide that I have already going. Come on. That way I've at least got something in front of me. So a lot of times what I end up doing is to make life a little bit easier, I use my taskbar quite a bit. So my taskbar, I'll tell you what, I'll just share my whole desktop. So I'll do my whole screen here. That way you guys can see everything. I put different programs that I use all the time along the bottom of my taskbar here. It makes it a lot easier and a lot faster than having to navigate some of the new menus that Microsoft has come out with, like Windows 8 and Windows 10. Unfortunately, especially with Windows 8, a lot of your programs are buried. So trying to access them quickly is a bit of a pain. But one of the things that you can do is any programs that you use a lot, one of the things that you can do is you can add them to the taskbar. You know, for instance, let's see. What the heck, I'll do OneDrive. I'll right-click on OneDrive here so I can pin it to my taskbar. This way, when I go back to my desktop here, OneDrive is sitting there. So adding shortcuts either to the desktop or adding shortcuts to your taskbar makes you a lot faster opening up some of these programs. The other thing that you may want to get used to using is when you open the program, you have a whole section here that's called Open, and this shows you your recent presentations. Now, if there's a presentation that you use all the time, you may want to consider pinning the presentation, because eventually this is going to get filled up. It's going to get filled up, and different things are going to drop off the menu. So if there are different presentations, even templates, that you use all the time, you may want to consider pinning them. Makes it a little bit more convenient for you. But I'll go back to the presentation. Inside this presentation, I really don't have much to show you for a outline. Let me just see if I have another one here, just real quick. Yeah, not really. That's okay, though. So what I'll do is I'll do my own slide. So I'll just do a new slide here. I'll click to add a title. And I'll do all about the outline, view. And I'll add some bullet points here. So let's see, Outlook. PowerPoint, Word, Excel. You have this view, and I don't know if you've used it before, but if I head to View, you have a view, it's called an Outline View. And this is the Outline View. The Outline View shows you all the text that is sitting on a slide. So I can click on the different bits of text that are here, and I can easily take different items and move them from one slide to the next. I can copy and paste. That's another way of moving it. I also have the ability to take the entire slide and move where it is in the presentation. So much like the slide sorter view where you can move things around, this has all the benefits of a slide sorter view, but it also has the benefits of being able to see all the text on a particular slide and being able to manipulate or use that text on a different slide, whether it be copy and paste or actually cutting it out of the slide and putting it somewhere different. The other way to use this, the outline view, is to learn how to use headings in Word. So if you do have a Word document, I'll use this one. If you do have a Word document, by properly formatting the Word document, you'll be able to import it into PowerPoint easily. What I mean by that is you have to learn how to use styles in Word. See, inside Word, I have all these different styles. These styles help me with the formatting, but they also help me with other things too. This is a heading 1. This is a heading 2. I have another heading 2 that's here. So if I want to take this and I want to make a presentation out of it, I can import it. I'll save a copy of it, and I'll save a copy just on my desktop. That way it's just easy to find. And then if I come back to PowerPoint, I can head to Home, head to New Slide, and import slides from an outline. When I choose slides from an outline, all I have to do is find the file. Once I find the file, as long as it's been properly formatted, when I choose Insert, it takes a bit. Takes a little bit, but it should import it. I think it just died on me. Yeah, I think it just died on me. All right, let me close this one. I'll start a new one. I'll do it again. So I'll just start with a blank one, just in case. I'll head to New Slide. Whoops. I'll head to New Slide, Slides from Outline. There's my Word document. I'll now be able to click on Insert. And it's still giving me a hard time. All right, let me do a document from scratch then. I'll show you what I mean. So I was talking about headings, using these different headings. So I can put in, this is about pictures in PowerPoint. How to edit a picture, how to format a picture, how to rotate a picture, picture formats. All right, so I got a bunch of slides that I want to do. Now, what I have to do is I have to make these headings. All of these have to be headings. What this does is this creates separate slides. Then If I want to make one point on the slide, tools, you use to edit, then I've got to make that a heading 2. How to format the picture using the format ribbon. How to rotate the picture using using picture menus and picture formats, list of formats. So these also have to be formatted. Now, if I save this, I'll just save it to my desktop so I can find it easy. And now, I'll just clean this up a little bit. Now what I can do is I can import this. I can head to New Slide, Slides from Outline. Find the document, insert it, and then each heading creates its own slide. Now what you might think is, well, wouldn't you want it to take everything from the Word document and place it on your slides? Like all your bullet points. No. You want it to take all your headings. You want it to take all of your different headings and make slides out of the headings. Your bullet points are your talking points. So those bullet points are things that you're going to talk about. When you present, if everything that you're talking about is on the slide, then you might as well just give them the slide deck and let them go through the slide deck themselves. The reason that you have a speaker is so that it's a little bit more interactive. Not only do they talk about the different points, but they expand on these different points. So, heading 1s, they become slide titles. Heading 2s become bullet points on the slides, your different talking points. So by using proper formatting, this saves you a ton of time taking existing documents and making a presentation out of them. I'll just stop sharing this, and then I'll just share PowerPoint out. Trying to get the right look for your slide can be a little bit difficult sometimes. So let's take a look at that for a moment. Let's take a look at color. We'll take a look at some of the themes. You have a design tab. That design tab controls your themes. If you have existing themes, that really helps. But most corporations have their own theme. Your own theme should already be here. And if it isn't, you need to create your own theme. There are other things that help you out here, especially as far as creating your theme, like formatting the background. When you format your background, you can format it with a solid color, a gradient, fill it in with a picture or a pattern. It's completely up to you. But keep in mind what you're trying to do is you're trying to make your own theme. Your own theme is yours. It's for your company. It creates consistency. So I can change the background colors. I can get into the fonts and I can add different things and remove things. And where you're going to want to do most of those things is in View. You head to View and you go to your Slide Master. The Slide Master is how you control your styles, and styles is all part of themes. You can edit existing themes here too. But this is where you pick your colors, your fonts, the different effects, and your different background styles. So if you want to make your own theme, you can get into your masters. I could choose a gradient fill. I have preset gradients that I can use. I can change the type of gradient and the direction and the angle of the gradient. I can even control the gradient stops. These are your gradient stops. These little sliders will affect the color and the fading of the color or bleeding of the color in some way. So I could change this last one to a much darker blue. And then you can see the effect of that. You could fill it in with a picture or a texture or a pattern. As far as the colors go, you can customize the colors. Text and background, I can make it dark, right? A certain dark color. When the text and the background are light, right? That's the light background. A second dark background, another light background, and the different accents. When you change things, you get to see what happens on the right-hand side. So, for instance, dark 1, I can change this to a little bit more of a lighter blue. Or I can leave it at black. Same with light. I could change it to a much lighter background. And you see the effects of it on the right-hand side. The different accents that are being used. Those are for objects and for charts. Hyperlinks and followed hyperlinks. When you're ready, you give it a name. I give it a name, I click on save, and now I've got my own theme. So if I create any additional presentations, I can color it with our company's theme. I can head to design, click my pull-down arrow, and my theme should be there. I think I forgot to save it. Sorry, I did. My fault. Let me go back to open. Let me switch views again. There it is. Sorry. So yes, my theme, I need to save it. So I hit File, I hit Save. I have to name it again. Called Greg's theme. Now I can take a new presentation, head to design, and now my custom theme should be sitting there. I click on the theme, and now I have consistency. As you saw, it's a file. So I can take that file and I can email it to other people. That way, everybody in the company is working off of the exact same theme. You could create variants if you want. Colors, backgrounds, effects, even background styles. And the other thing that has now become important with the theme is the slide size. With the slide size, right now I'm working with a widescreen, and that's because I have a widescreen. If I know that I'm presenting on a squared monitor or an older projector, then I can choose standard. Let me head back to home. There are other styles that help you out too, like quick styles. Let me show you. I'll just do a new slide here, and I'll want to insert a shape. I don't use shapes that often, but the shapes that I do use are things like the block arrows. These are great for pointing different things out. But when I create something like this, on the Home tab, I have these things called quick styles. I also have other theme fills that I can use too. But these quick styles allow me to very quickly change the outline, the effect, the fill. They have quite a few. It's the same thing in the drawing tools. They're called shape styles. And you have lots. You'll notice, though, you can't create your own shape styles. It doesn't quite work that way. You do have a dialog box that sits here. So I can click this little button. And I get all kinds of different options. Options for the fill. Different effects like shadowing. I can change the size, position, and even add alternative text if I'm trying to make the presentation accessible. The only thing I can't do is save the styles. But I have lots of things to play with. Shape outlines that I can use too. And all of these things affect that shape. Even word styles. You know, word art used to be kind of a goofy, rainbowy kind of thing. And now it's grown up. Now word art is very practical to use for titles. The idea is that you pick a style and it applies that format. And some of these are really well done. But the one thing that I've learned about word art, bigger the better. The larger the font, the more effective the effect is, the more effective the colors, the gradients that you see, all that stuff. So with the title, bigger the better. Much like your shape styles, the word art styles also, these ones, they can't be saved. So what you see is what you get. But you can manipulate it even further. You can change the fill, put in gradients, even add textures to it. Change the outline. And different text effects, like being able to give it a bit of a shadow. That way it gives it some depth, a bit of life to it. If you are looking for the goofy word art stuff, though, it does sit still in Transform. As far as everybody else enjoying your presentation, obviously you could email a PowerPoint slide deck to somebody. But if they didn't have the right version, if they were using an older version, if they didn't have PowerPoint, there is something that you can do. See, you can open up a web browser, and you can head to www.office.com. A simple address, but this is where it lands you. Now, if you scroll through the free trial that they're talking about, and you scroll down, what you can get started with is the online app. So in English, if they don't have PowerPoint, no excuse. They should come here and use PowerPoint online. This way, it makes it nice, simple, easy for other people to open up your PowerPoint presentations. Now, it's not full-blown PowerPoint, but there's enough there to make some corrections and make some changes. If you haven't seen this stuff yet, you may want to take a look at Sway. Sway is another, yeah, it's going to want me to connect in, sorry. Sway is another Microsoft product that is very, very similar to PowerPoint and very similar to something called Prezi. If you got kids, you probably already know what Prezi is. If not, Prezi is a website that you go to help you build your presentation. There are some other things, little things, that you can do as far as color and style and sorting things out. Most of it all deals with your masters. Part of being able to get what you want is having the right masters. You have to use your layouts. You have to. If you don't use your layouts and you do your own thing, that creates problems. See, let me create a duplicate slide here. I'll just add another one. I'll do the same thing. And I'll actually get this back. I'll clear out the word art. And that way it'll go back to the way that it's intended to be. And also go back to home. I'll relay out the slide. Also reset the slide too. Perfect. So now they're almost identical. See, if you do your own thing, right? If you take this out, this title, and you do your own thing, you're going to create a problem. I'll use a text box to create my own title. And you'll notice right away, it's not the right size. So I can change it, right? I change the size. Whoops. Right, make it bigger. If I head to design, I can choose any design, but what you'll notice is that it doesn't change. This heading doesn't match that heading anymore. It's because you did your own thing. Sometimes the headings move. And if yours doesn't move, you're going to have to do it manually. So, lesson learned, you have to work with the masters. You have to use these different placeholders, and that's what they are. They're placeholders. You can even insert your own set of masters if you'd like. So if I don't want to use these ones, I can insert a new set and work on my new set. Have a completely different theme for this one. So I can get in here and say, well, I want to use, I'll use one of the new ones. I can use the new theme and have new layouts. Obviously, applying a theme, it does it consistently so that all of the different layouts that I have that theme. I think I stuck in a couple of extra ones here. Yeah, I did. So I'll do another theme. They all have their own themes. See? To get rid of a master set, you can right-click on a master and delete the master. That deletes the whole set. When you go to work with PowerPoint, I can hit the new slide. Sorry, forgot to get onto my view. So I can go back to my normal view. I can go to insert a new slide, and when I insert a new slide, I not only have all of these masters, but these and these. So what this allows you to do is this allows you to have all kinds of different types of layouts. And when the theme changes, when different things change, everything on the slide, it shifts, it moves the way that it should. Another feature, if I click on File here, actually sits in Share. There's many different ways of sharing this. I can share it through email. I can present it online. I can publish the slides and publish them to a slide library on SharePoint. I can also send the entire presentation through instant messaging. If I invite people, what I have to do is I have to save this to OneDrive. I save it to the cloud, and then everybody gets to use it. Another spot to go is export. See, with export, this is how you create your handouts. But you can now also create a video. You can change the quality of the video. And this has changed, by the way, from 2010. 2010, the resolutions were a lot smaller. How many seconds you spend on each slide, or it'll use your slide's timings. Now, the best way to move a presentation from one computer to the next computer, so if this is not the computer you're going to be presenting with, you need to package it for a CD. Okay, not really a CD, but you need to package it. So if your presentation is going to go traveling, you need to use this. What this allows you to do is this allows you to package the presentation, and you can copy it to a folder, like on one of those little USB drives. But this ensures that no matter what, that presentation is going to work perfectly. So a small thing, but it makes a big deal. You want to package it, copy it to a folder, copy it to a USB drive, because it's going to grab all the fonts and all the pictures and everything to do with your presentation and put it in a nice, neat folder. I want to show you one last thing. I'm just going to insert some pictures here. So I'll just grab a couple. Let's just do a little search here, and we'll do one on training here. So I'll insert a bunch of these. So I'm just going to take a couple of pictures, stir them around a little bit. You'll notice that most of your files nowadays, the file extension, you'll notice that most of your file extensions have an X on the end. If you've been programming, then there's an M on the end. If you haven't been programming, there's still just the X. But the X stands for something. The X stands for Extensible Markup Language. The reason that's so important is it means that all of our files have some common properties, and are able to talk to each other. So here's the example. I have a whole bunch of pictures, and I want to be able to extract all the pictures from the presentation. There's also video, and there's audio clips too. Now the presentation is 900 slides long. So that means at bare minimum, I've got 900 pictures. Now, of course, in PowerPoint, you can click on a picture. You can right-click on it, and you can swap the picture out, or you can save the picture. So you can keep pictures, but if you got 900 slides, that's a lot of right-clicking. So instead, you save it. You save it like normal. So I'm just going to save it on my desktop. I'll close down PowerPoint, and I'll head right to my desktop. So now that you can see this, I'm just going to share out my whole screen. Right now, I'm hiding all my icons. It's the equivalent of just brushing everything underneath your bed. So I'm going to show my desktop icons now. Awesome. All right. So there it is. Watch this. This is one of the features of all of the documents that are being saved with an X on the end. This is one of the features. I'll change it to zip. I'll change it to zip. I'll right-click on it, and I'll unzip it. So now I have a file folder. And what's in the file folder? What did I extract? Check it out. So I come in here. There's the PPT. And if I take a look, my theme got saved. More importantly, if you head to media, these are all the pictures, the backgrounds, any graphics that were used have now been extracted. And it's all because all you did was take PowerPoint and save it as a zip file. You changed the extension. But because it's an XML file, you're able to do this. There's an actual structure to the file. If you're used to working with XML schemas, you already knew this. We've already been mining, and this information is available for us to use and program and get this information to talk to other things, and it's terrific. It's great. If you're not familiar with XML, this is a neat little feature that allows you to extract all the little things from a file, even stuff that you might not have even thought you could have saved, like the theme. Here I've got slides, right? And this is the XML information for the slides, which to somebody that works with XML, it would mean something. It would be actually a really big deal. But the real reason that I brought you here was to show you the media. I'll close that. I'll get out of there. I'll shove all this stuff underneath my bed again. And that way, my desktop looks clean. I'll stop sharing my screen. I'll come back here. Any questions about any of this stuff whatsoever? Questions, comments, concerns, anything at all? Now you can use the Q&A if you want. You can also use the chat. It's whatever's easier. Obviously, you can use your microphone too. Nothing wrong with that. No questions, comments, concerns, accusations, anything? All right, then. Well, I would like to thank all of you for coming out to today's presentation. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, the noise in the background, I do apologize. We've got a couple things going on in our classrooms today that just kind of bleeds right through the walls. I do really appreciate you guys coming out to today's presentation. I hope that you learned a few things. We do run these fairly often, so check our website and definitely take a look. And hopefully, I get to see you in one of my classes. Enjoy the rest of your day, and don't forget, today's Friday. Take care. Thank you.